So we're just done with day one of WrestleMania 38, and I'm going to review whole event. And it was an amazing event to see. We saw huge reactions from the crowd, and we saw Stone Cold Steve Austin, we saw Cody Rhodes, we saw Logan Paul. I mean, like, this was such an amazing WrestleMania day one. I just can't imagine how good WrestleMania Day 2 will be. So it was an amazing day. I mean, like, as a wrestling fan, this channel is all about, martial arts and all those stuff, boxing and all those stuff. But I'm going to talk about wrestling today, pro wrestling, because, I mean, WrestleMania is something that I have always enjoyed watching as a kid, as a big wrestling fan. Like, I used to watch them whole day. So I'm going to review about what I feel that WrestleMania was actually very good. So we begin the night with Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Books. I mean, like, that match was amazing match, but the ending was a little bit like not good, because Rick Books, like, trying to lift both of the Usos on his back, he got a freak injury on his knee, so they had to change the ending. But at the end, Usos won that match, so it's good because Usos are one of the best, tag teams present in the WWE. So I'm just mixing up UFC and WWE because I'm now a huge fan of UFC and I do content related to UFC. So if you like to subscribe this channel, it would be great for me. So the second match we had was Drew McIntyre versus Baron Corbin. No, they call them Happy Corbin now. They call him Happy Corbin now. So Happy Corbin versus Drew McIntyre, and it was a great match to see. I mean, like, to see a man of size of Drew McIntyre jumping over the top rope on, like, Baron Corbin. I mean, like, that was crazy thing to see, and like, that got a huge reaction from the crowd. So I mean, like, that was an amazing match. For the first time I saw someone king out of, like, end of days by Baron Corbin. So it was a little bit special, and that Claymore kick at the end, that was an amazing match. And then we move on to the match between Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, the son of Rey Mysterio, father and son champions, fighting with Miz and Logan Paul. And I mean, like, to see Logan Paul in these events, like Jake Paul and Logan Paul, is kind of crazy because, they have this background in wrestling, but now that I see them, they can actually wrestle. I mean, like, Logan Paul actually did Three Amigos by Eddie Guerrero, if you remember that back in the day. I mean, like, three back-to-back suplexes that they do, and then, Logan Paul did a slam, did a power slam, did a slam. He got onto the top rope and jumped from the top rope. So it's like an amazing event. I mean, like, it's an amazing event for Logan Paul. And then at the end, the best thing that the Miz always does, they won the match. Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio actually lost the match, but at the end, Miz and Logan Paul were celebrating, but Miz does what Miz always does. He betrayed Logan Paul and gave him a skull crushing finale. That's like the ending move of the Miz. So it was an amazing match, and at the ending was a little bit, more satisfying to us as a wrestling fan, because we do want to see Logan Paul getting slammed. So that was that was amazing from the Miz. And after that we saw, like, Bianca Blair versus Becky Lynch. And okay, that's good for women's wrestling matches. I mean, I don't watch actually them because the thing that they are not that good, let's be honest. So Bianca Blair ended up winning that match, which I always thought she would do, because, now the limelight has to move on from Becky Lynch to Bianca Blair, because Bianca Blair is one of those new upcoming stars. So Bianca Blair won that match, and then we saw another match between Becky Lynch versus no, I'm sorry, not Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey, and that was one good match, one good woman match. I mean, like, comparing to men, like, that was a little bit better. and that match was back and forth, and Ronda Rousey got the tap, but still, the referee didn't saw it. But Ronda Rousey actually lost that match. So I can say what WWE is trying to do with Ronda Rousey. They made her come back, and then she lost the match. So I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know, to be honest, with Ronda Rousey. So, and the match that I was really excited about, because Stone Cold Steve Austin came back, and I never thought that I would watch a Stone Cold Steve Austin fight in a wrestling pro wrestling match in my lifetime, because when he was like in his prime, I was a kid. But now I just saw Stone Cold Steve Austin versus, Kevin Owens. It was an amazing match. It was an amazing match, to be honest. And that ending with Byron Saxton coming to interview, uh, Stone Cold, and Stone Cold slamming him again. That was an amazing match to see. And it's just the day one. That's the most interesting part. There will be day two tomorrow, so that would be very amazing to see, because I like WrestleMania too much, because as a kid I really like to enjoy watching WrestleMania. So now that I want to do videos on boxing and martial arts, but still, as a fan, I really enjoyed it. So if you like the content, the thing, please like, share, and subscribe. This is Stupid Boy UFC.